This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and today we'll be taking a look at some news surrounding cloud streaming and virtual reality, a recent French interview surrounding Stadia, a Darksiders Genesis update, but to begin, let's talk about the big news, and that's Google Stadia selling out of the Founders Edition bundle. Yeah, you heard that right, the Founders Edition has officially sold out worldwide. Replacing it is the Premier Edition, which still gives you access to Stadia this year, minus the bonus name tag benefits and no buddy pass to share. The Premier Edition sells for the same amount as the Founders Bundle, so if you want to hop on the Stadia train, it'll cost you $129.99. It's always great to hear the Founders Edition is selling out, but it definitely sucks for those who weren't able to get their order in on time. To be clear, we don't really know how many of these Founders Bundles even exist, so it really doesn't paint us a picture of how well Google Stadia is selling, but let's hope that it's a good sign of consumer interest this early on. Next, we need to talk about a recent interview with Maj Bakar, VP of Engineering at Google Stadia. Now, before I begin here, I want to point out that the interview is fully in French and is coming from a YouTube channel called Silence Enjoué. Now, I definitely know I just botched that pronunciation, so I'm really sorry about that. Anyways, the summary I'm about to talk about here comes from Reddit user Monogon, so credit goes to him for the translation. Link for both the interview and the Reddit post will be linked in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Now, this interview actually acknowledges quite a few things I'm sure many people have been wondering about. The first of which is Google's commitment to the platform. Like any company, Google has a roadmap for Stadia, and this one's a long one. According to the interview, they have laid out a 10-year plan, and they are taking this as a serious investment. So for those of you that are scared that Google may just abandon the project early on, this should speak volumes to how much they are committed to this. But honestly speaking, this shouldn't come as a surprise considering the video game industry is larger than any other entertainment industry out there right now. There's plenty of money to be made, and I'm sure every other company is wanting a slice of the pie. The interview goes on to covering the curation process as well. To start, Google will be looking for high quality games due to the certification process, but over time it will start opening up the store for more games. With that said, they don't plan on being as open as Steam is with their storefront. I definitely think this is a good idea. As much as I love Steam and their store, I do think that they allow way too many games that shouldn't be up there for sale. There are plenty of games on there that have never gotten finished and never will. Now the next bit is super interesting as it deals with exclusives. Apparently Google isn't particularly interested in securing third-party exclusive titles on their platform like Epic Games does. Now if you need a quick rundown on what's going on there, the Epic Games storefront is outright buying exclusives so they don't appear on any other storefront. Google believes that games should be available on as many platforms as possible. Now to be very fair, he's talking about outright purchasing third-party exclusives. This does leave me wondering if they are open to paying third parties to make titles that can only be done on Stadia, or if Google will be depending on building their own first-party studios to do so. Some other good info gets mentioned about how Google Stadia is more energy efficient than traditional gaming as data centers run on 100% renewable energy, as well as talking about revenue share with developers being equal to that of other platforms. Also confirmed is that Google will be collecting data for AI anonymously like every other Google service does. Honestly, this interview seems very good and detailed. I really wish I spoke French fluently to actually understand it. But for now, let's discuss the quick update on Darksiders Genesis. The footage you're seeing in the background is from the latest trailer and it's a pretty good one, so be sure to go check it out. Links in the description below. At the end of this trailer, we now were given an official launch date for PC and Stadia, and that is December 5th, 2019, with consoles getting it February 14th, 2020. Gotta admit, it's kind of neat knowing we're getting the game early along with the PC crowd, and this is certainly a game I plan on picking up, so expect a review for it on the channel as we get there. Now the last bit of news I want to cover here isn't directly related to Stadia, but does have to do with cloud gaming. Nvidia announced Cloud XR, which allows the rendering of Steam VR applications over a 5G network as well as AR applications too. During the presentation, they showcased an AR rendering of a high-fidelity card that was rendered in the cloud, which is quite impressive to see. You're seeing a quick snippet of it in the background, and if you want to watch the full presentation, be sure to check it out in the description below, I'll link it there. Personally, I can't wait for these two technologies to merge, and honestly, I think we're closer to it than we think we are. The potential of lightweight VR with high-end graphics is way too good for it not to happen. I'm guessing we'll start seeing things about this in 5 years' time, but what about you? What's your time frame look like? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to find out how long you think it'll take for VR and cloud gaming to merge together. Anyways, that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you liked the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Now for today's end of video message, I want to ask a quick favor for those of you who didn't catch yesterday's video. I made a review for the PlayStation Now game streaming service, and I'm looking for as much feedback as possible on how to improve the review format. The reason being is that I want to do some of these reviews to get ready to start reviewing games in a way that you would enjoy. Now I know plenty of you don't have any interest in the PlayStation Now service, but if you're willing to give it a watch and provide some feedback, it would be greatly appreciated. A link to the video will be showing in the annotation above, so if you're willing to provide some feedback, you have my thanks. And a big shout out to those of you who already provided feedback. Because of you, I already have many plans and ideas on how to improve the review format going forward. Anyways, this has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related. The Gen S community is over 1,500 strong and growing by the day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.